Hey guys, today I want to update two of my journals. This is my 2026 reading journal. I have already finished with all of this setup, but there are still a couple of things I want to work on. And this is my Orilium journal, and just yesterday, at the time of me filming this video, the new Lightfall announcement has been released, so I want to update my journal a bit that. So make yourself cozy, maybe update your journals together with me, and let's do this. Welcome to the journal vlog. I think I will start with the reading journal first. In one of my setup videos, I have mentioned I'd like to get some book recommendations from you guys, and you delivered. There are quite a few, and I have realized there is not a space for me to write those down, so this is what are we going to start with today. I have prepared the title in two colors because I am not sure yet what will work best with the decoration I will put on the page. I'm also going to use this beautiful purple cloud sticker by Marigona Suli and some of her stickers. These bookshelves are so adorable, yet I never know how to use them. So I was thinking I could put them down here along the side of this spread, and we will see how that will look. Okay, so let's start with the washi tape. I love adding these tapes to the top or bottom of the page. It just looks so good, and it is almost no effort at all. Let's put these bookshelves down first. Okay. I think this will be not enough to cover the whole bottom section, but I have something in mind. I will cut this sticker just so it would not bunch up in the middle. Yeah, let's cut this. There is too much of this plant overhanging, so I will just place it a bit higher. It is slightly higher than these two shelves, but I think it looks okay. Let's see, I have these cats, so I was thinking about having one of them in here. I think this green one would be perfectly matching, but it is not enough to fill this space, so I need to look for something more. I have this, so that might be okay, or maybe this dragon. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards this one. These are all remaining sticker sheets that I have used in the reading journal setup. So I would like to use a bit more of them. Maybe this. Okay, let's try the dragon. Maybe I could have him here. Okay, that might be actually very cute. Okay, let's redo this whole thing. This is how I operate, guys. I think about something and then I try to do it, and then I realize it is maybe not the best approach, so I have to adjust, and yeah, it's okay. Now it will be maybe more visible that this shelf is higher, but I can't really do anything about it. Okay, so now I want to cut off these mushrooms. Or maybe let's have this book stack in here. Okay, I like that. Maybe we could have this in here, because why not? And with that, and after I use some of these smaller stickers, this sticker sheet will be done. And there are some stars, so let's not forget about those. Okay, this is done. And now I need to decide on the title, and I feel like this orange might be better. Yeah, I think I made this green way too dark, so I will go with orange. And it seems I will have to cut the title somewhere in the middle of the word. I don't like doing that. I much prefer when there is a cut between words, but if I did it like that, then it would look really silly, I think. So I will cut it between O and M, just because there is a bit of decoration in here, so that kind of balances it out. And it also kind of matches with the position of this sticker. And this I printed on sticker paper, so I just need to unpeel the backing and put it on. The thing is, I am very bad with taking off the backing of all those stickers and these titles, so it always takes forever. Okay, finally. Okay, this one went so much quicker. Okay, that looks fine. Now let's do the table. I have made some markings for where the table should go, but I covered them with stickers just now. I have to do them again. And I was thinking about having 3 sections, because having one list here and one list here seemed like wasting a lot of space, because there are not that many books with this long title. So yeah, I decided to have 3 columns in here, and that way I can fit in more recommendations. So I am asking you guys again, if you have any recommendations, either in fantasy, sci-fi or thrillers, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate them. Okay, so I need a pencil. I believe I had 24 boxes for one column in mind. Okay, so this here and this should be just enough. Okay. And I'm going to do second line highlights with this Tombow pen. I really love doing those. I am not the best at second line highlights. They are often very, very wonky, but not only they make the page look so much better, it is then also easier to use the page. I might put title in here. So let's start here. And I did not really even check if this pen is the right color, but it seems to be. I don't have that many pale markers, so I have to do with what I have. This seems fine, I think. Okay, so there will be space for so many recommendations, but you know, the year has not even started and there are quite a few that I want to write down, so that's perfect. I do not usually color in right up to the edge of the page, but because the table will go across 2 pages, I'm doing that, so it is less apparent that it goes across 2 pages. Okay guys, let me know, do you have your reading journals planned already? Or are you in a state of watching as many videos as you can? Because well, as you can see, I have my reading journal prepared, but mostly because I knew I would like to make a video out of it, so you would have some kind of reference or maybe an idea about how some of these trackers and pages might be set up. So if I was not doing videos, I don't think it would be already finished. But that said, I am so happy with how this journal turned out, and I am so excited to start using it next year. Okay, this is done and it looks so much better than I expected. Okay, let's erase these pencil lines. Perfect. Okay, now I need to find another color for the top of this table. I'm going to use this small notebook for swatches. And let's see, these are all markers I will need for 2026. Yeah, there is a lot, but I have a lot of trackers that need a lot of colors in them. And so I decided to use this box from the Notebook Therapy. This is for the Light Academia washi tape set, and I love that packaging so much. So I'm using this for stuff like this, to just put pens in, or maybe paper offcuts or something like that. Okay, let's see. This might be quite good. It is not the same as these colors, but I love how desaturated this is. Okay, let's try another green. This, I'm not sure. I don't think it will look good next to these two colors. I'm not sure about this one either. Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Purple. I was not thinking about having purple in there, but that might be an option. Now let's see. This is too dark, I think. Now this one. Oh, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. It works, I think, very well with these bookshelves. Maybe not that much with what's going on in here, but this is a thing on its own, I guess. It is very, very punchy, I guess. So this is an option, and yeah, this might be no. And okay, I think I am decided on this. That's again Tombow 027. So let's put this back. Okay, this is a pretty straight line. I am so happy with that one. Those are not that good, but as I said, I am not the best at second line highlights yet, but it is becoming much better. Now I need to write book and who recommended it. So I'm not sure what to write in here. I will do by whom. Is this grammatically correct? I hope it is. And the last one. And I forgot to put a line in here. So if I will read a book recommended, I will check it off here. Okay, that looks nice. So let's write a few entries in here. I will then sit by the computer and look through all the recommendations and write everything in here, because the main reason for this spread is that I am sure I won't be going through all of the comments every single time I want to read some of your recommendations. So this is a perfect space to have everything all together, so I don't have to go and hunt through all of the comments. I've also recommended the Galantia by, is it Madeleine Miller? Okay, that's, I just checked, and that's Galatia. Okay, I should definitely be looking at all of these recommendations before I write them down. But that's fine. I am sure I have some offcuts. I am going to use that. Okay, let's do the marker. Okay, so that was Galatia, I guess. At least I got the name right, it seems. And that was recommended by Keto. Okay, so I feel like a line here could be nice to kind of separate these slightly. I think that looks much better. Okay, let's write maybe one more, and then I will have to go in front of the computer, because as you can see, I am not doing the best job with this. Let's write down the Martian by Andy Weir. That was recommended by Revant, so yeah, that's there. Okay, that's it for my book recommendation spread. I adore how this turned out. It is so much cuter than I expected. I am going to fill this in now and I will come back. Okay, I am back. It is done. There are so many recommendations. Thank you so much everyone who commented on my videos and recommended me books. These are mostly recommendations from when I was setting up this journal and I asked you guys for some. And also down here are some for the books with green covers, because in my 2025 Read the Rainbow Challenge I am now only missing a light green covered book. So thank you so much again for recommendations. I think I'm going to start reading one of those in December and I hope I will be able to finish it. And yeah, with that, this is finished. As I said, I love how this looks. Seeing this list now, I am glad I decided to make 3 columns for all the recommendations. Next, what I wanted to make was to prepare a template for when I will be printing the book covers for all of my trackers during the year, so that I won't have to resize every single book cover manually, because I was doing that. I was doing that for many years. Only last year, Jessie Corinne released a video showing us how she is doing her templates. I will link it down in the description. She showed me that this can be so much easier and quicker. This is what I am going to do now, and I will show you how I am making those in case you are curious. So let's go. I start with opening Canva, of course, and then I choose the print template and I go with A4 size. You see the measurements here. It is roughly 21 by 30 centimeters. It does not matter which size of the paper or print you choose. It is only important to choose something with set measurements. Now I go to the elements section on the left side and I search for rectangle. Just write it down and press enter. And down in the frames section, I'm looking for a simple rectangle. I put it on the page simply by clicking on it. I have no idea if you used Canva or not, so I am telling you every single step just to be sure you can easily make your own templates if you'd like. Now I click on position above our working area and it opens this table on the left side. We go straight to the advanced section and in here I need to write the actual size of the future book cover in millimeters. My first spread is going to have a book covers with size 2 by 3 centimeters, so I write in 20 by 30 millimeters. And the rectangle automatically resizes. When I have one rectangle resized, I can now create as many copies as I need. I like to cover the full line from left to right, and the whole thing is finished basically. Because I need to prepare book covers in different sizes, I like to add titles. So I click on the text icon on the left side panel, choose whatever, it does not really matter here, and I write down the title of every spread in my reading journal that will need this size of book covers. There are quite a few. I did my best to create only a small variety of book cover sizes that will be needed. On some pages I would like to fit as many book covers as possible, and on some only a few, but I'd like those to be bigger. And somewhere I needed to fit a certain amount of book covers, so that's why different templates are needed. I drag the title above the templates and it is done. For the ease of it, I simply copy and drag the copied title lower to create another section. This will be for book covers I add to my monthly cover pages, and these are going to be exactly the same in size, but I like to have a wide border around so they are more visible on the page, since I love to use a lot of decoration on my pages and the book covers can get lost in all of that. I simply space these templates out a bit. There is a wide border option to do in Canva, but I like to do it this way. These bigger templates in here are for the monthly reviews, where I will write about each book. I am not sure about the size of these yet, so it might be tweaked later. I also want to have a border around these, so I am spacing those out as well. These next ones will be for my classics, non-fictions, DNFs and other pages. There is 6 by 10 boxes large space for those in my reading journal, so it should be 3 by 5 centimeters since every box is half centimeter big, but the rectangle seemed a bit too long, so I shortened it back to 45 millimeters, just as the table suggested when I had the ratio lock on. It makes sure the ratio between both sizes is the same on all templates. So when one measurement changes, it automatically resizes the other. Gosh, I am making this unnecessarily complicated. I am sure you all know what locked ratio means. I made few of those, and now for bingo. Here I need square templates, so I have to unlock the ratio and resize these by writing the measurements in myself. After I am done, there are 3 pages of templates, which seems like a lot, but the 3rd page will be used only at the end of the year for my top 10 reads of 2026, and I am sure I will be thankful it is already set up. I can now show you how I am using this. Let's go to the 26 in 2026 section, and I am simply going to dump in here my book covers by dragging them from the folder in my computer. This screen recording does not show you this folder, so it is a bit awkward, but I just simply selected and dragged all the book covers here. And I move them to the space of the template, and it automatically resizes itself and locks to the template. I miss that we can't have 2 pages next to each other in Canva. That would make this process so much easier, because now I have to do an awkward manual resizing first, just so I could see the templates. Okay, now that these are filled in, I select them all by holding the left mouse button while selecting the area. Then I duplicate it all and move it onto the next page, so I could print only what I need. For the rest of the book covers, they will automatically add themselves in the template just as well. It will simply cover the previous image. I want to have these images in black and white, and I have not found a better way to do this than edit every single image one by one manually. If you have a hack for this, please let me know. Okay, now I can go, save the page and print it out. Guys, I hope this was helpful. I am not used to doing tutorials and I have no idea how much information you need, but I did my best to show every step in the video. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments and I will do my best to help you out. I will of course link Jeshi's template making video in the description. She also has an option for Google Docs and Microsoft Word, and she is so much better at teaching stuff. Now we can go back to the reading journal. Okay, and here are all the book covers printed out. It looks very, very dark. I even went through all of them and tried to lighten the cover, but yeah, I still can see perfectly what is what. Now I am cutting this out, and then we will put all of them into my 26 in 2026 spread. I already have the 5-star blank stickers in here. I think it would be enough to only color in these stickers. I will be able to see what was right and what was not, but by having all of these book covers black and white first, and then I will cover them with colorful version when the book will be read, that will make it so much easier to see what was read and what was not. Okay. I'm going to put all of these covers on the page randomly. For 2025, I tried to do some kind of like a rainbow effect with all of these covers, but I am not going to bother with that. I actually really like when all of the book covers are mixed, so the whole page is then very, very colorful. Okay, so first one is The Toll. It is the 3rd book in the Sight series, and the 2nd book ended on such a cliffhanger. I have no idea why I have not picked this one up yet. I don't understand why, because I am so curious to see what will happen next. Next we have Invocations. I picked this book because of the cover. It is gorgeous and it is about women and witches, I guess. I'm not sure. I do read blurbs of all of the books, but I very quickly forget why I want to read certain books. So then I just go by the vibes. And I like that. I don't really like to go into the book knowing what will happen. I like to be surprised with my reads. Okay, next is Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Well, I read 9, I guess, Joe Abercrombie books this year. I think I want to read Devils next year. I really need a break from the First World series because, yeah, I had enough. So I want to read something different from him. I have seen many good reviews and also not really good reviews, so I am curious to see how I will like this book. Then I have the Dollmakers. I, again, adore this book cover and I really like the premise, so I am curious to see what I will think about this. Then A Court of Wings and Ruin. I have read first 2 books in the ACOTAR series, I don't think this year, but in 2024. And it was okay. I was not the biggest fan. Okay, I just lost like 100 subscribers now, I guess. So it was okay. And I was not really that curious about what will happen next. But with time, I kind of want to see how it will end. Yeah, I'm putting this one in here. So it will remind me that I want to continue in that series. Next we have Empire of the Vampire, because it is a book about vampires. It was in my 25 in 2025 books to read list and I did not get to this one. Hopefully next year. Okay, now Dark and Drowning Tide. Again, it was in my 2025 list and I am still very excited about this book. So yeah, I hope I will get to it. I have read one book from Alison Saft before and I liked it, so I really hope I will like this one as well. Then we have Gathering of Shadows. This I think is book 2 in the what's the series called? The one with 3 or 4 Londons. You all know which one. So I want to continue that series. Shades of Magic, yes, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, then we have Call Down the Hawk. That's from Maggie Stiefvater and it is, I think, related to the Raven Boys series. It is supposed to be about dreamers and one of the characters in this series was a dreamer and I'm really curious about this series, so hopefully I will get to that. Also, I already own this book, so I really want to read more from my shelves. It seems I own most of these, except these 2. I own all of these books. Well, this one in the audiobook version, and all of these I have physically on my shelves. If I will read some books from this list, it will help me so much with some other trackers, so hopefully I will get to that. And while we are on the books I already own, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab is another book I already have, and I'm so curious about it. It was automatic buy, because I think I heard lesbians and vampires, so I will see how I will like it. I am also thinking about choosing this one as a book club read. I have with 2 of my friends, so we will see how that will go. Okay, then I have Matt Dinniman, Operation Bounce House. If you don't know, Matt Dinniman is the author of the Dungeon Crawl. I can't say that, Dungeon Crawler Carol series. And this is something different, so I am curious to see if I will like his writing in something else than Dungeon Crawler Carol series. Then we have Discovery of Witches. I again own this book physically already. It is a chunker, so I am kind of intimidated to read it, but hopefully I will get to that one. Then we have The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. It is a very busy cover and it is very hard to see, so I'm sorry about that. It is, I think, mostly orange in its full color. I am excited for this because I want to read and collect all Terry Pratchett's books. I already started in both the reading and collecting aspect, so that's fun. So this is, I believe, the first book that was released. I think so. If not, please feel free to say I am wrong in the comments. Then we have the recommendation from one of you, the Galatea. I decided to put this on this list mostly because it was a recommendation, but also because it is a short story. So it should be pretty quick and easy to finish. And I am not the biggest fan of retellings, but this being very short, I feel like I will be able to finish it and maybe hopefully enjoy, so we'll see. Now I have 1984. Again, I own this book already and I have never read this one and I really want to give it a try. Now there is, let's do something dark, Invisible Life of Adila Rue. I think 2 of my friends had already read this one and they liked it, so I want to read it as well. Then we have Cold Magic. This was a recommendation from one of my friends and I was supposed to read it this year in 2025 and I never got around to this. This will be my priority if I won't finish it in December. I don't think so, there is this possibility, but I think it will be one of the first books I will tackle in 2026. Then there is Blood on Her Tongue. This, I have to say, I have no idea what this book is about, but I love this cover. So yeah, that's a cover choice and this is how I roll. Spear Cuts Through Water. Again, one of my friends really liked this book, so I figured I might give it a go. Starless Sea, I again own. I loved The Night Circus. It was written by the same author and I'm sure this will be different, but I am curious to see how I will like another book from the same author. Okay, now let's do The Lighthouse Witches. I saw someone talking about this book like a year ago and all I remember is that I really wanted to read this one, so it is on my list. Now this is Network Effect. This is book 5 in the Murderbot Diaries and I loved book 1. It was so good. Book 2 I really enjoyed as well. But then with books 3 and 4, I just felt like they were the same as previous books, so I kind of given up on that series. But a lot of time has passed since I read those and now I really want to try and finish that series. So this is for me to remember. I want to continue the series. Okay, now we have The Martian by Andy Weir. It is another recommendation from one of you guys, and also the Project Hail Mary, written by the same author, was so good, so I am curious to read this one. Then we have Priechod, or I think it's called The Passage by Justin Cronin. I bought this book when I was in high school, I think, so that's why I have it in Slovak. And I read it then. I remember I liked it, but I really want to read it again because I can't really remember much of it, so that's why it is here. Then we have Nona the Ninth. I have read first 2 books. I am not sure if this year or last year, and I remember being so confused by book 2. So I feel like I will have to reread or maybe just read some lengthy explanation about what was happening. But I really want to continue the series, and from what I gathered, this is again something totally different from other 2 books in the series. I have no idea how I will like it, but I would love give this a go. And the last cover is the Obelisk Gate. This is the second book in the 5th season series, and I loved the first book so much, so I want to continue the series. As you can tell, it is very black and white, and I really like that. But it will be so much more fun with all the color. There are quite a few books that were on my TBR for a while, but also quite a few new ones, and I am really excited about that. Also, many are already on my bookshelves, so I won't have to go and look for them, which is also very good. And with this, my 2026 reading journal is finally 100% complete. I don't see myself adding anything more in here. Well, I have already filled in 53 pages of this journal, and the year has not even started yet. So yeah, I am, as you can tell, probably I am very excited about this journal, and it took me many hours to finish this. So much so that I have made 2 setup videos of this journal. So if you are curious about this reading journal and you have not watched the setup videos yet, they are linked at the end of this video and down in the description below. Okay, now it's time to work on my Orilium journal. I always have such a hard time trying to fit it in the video, but hopefully you will be able to see the most important parts. Okay. So, okay, while we are here, and because I flipped on this page, I can fill in my adventures in Aeldia right now, because I might forget about that later. Last time I updated this map was in September. So, for October, I needed to read a book with foil on the cover, and I remember I completely forgot about this, and then I had like 4 or 5 days to the end of the month, and I have not read any books with foil on the cover yet. So I quickly looked through my bookshelves and I found an Education in Malice, and the title has gold foil on it, so it was an easy choice. And for the book being as big as this, the font was absolutely massive, so it was very quick to read. But I have to say it could have been even shorter, because yeah, it was not my favorite read of the year. If you are interested about my review of this book, I talk about it in my October reading wrap up. So let's put it in here. Prompt was 10A. How do I do this? Every single month I have to see how do I write this down. Read a book with foil on the cover. Okay. And we can color this in. I again did not find the perfect marker. Okay, let me try and find something more bold than this. Let's do orange. Okay. And for November, I needed to read a non-fiction book, and that, guys, that was a struggle. I was really not in a mood for a non-fiction read. Eventually, I decided to read Make Time, and this is kind of a spoiler for my November reading wrap-up. I really did not care for this book, and I finished it only because I needed to count it towards this. Thankfully, it was really short. I will talk about it more in my November reading wrap-up in 1 or 2 weeks. I am not sure yet when I will make that video, so yeah. This was not the best read, but that's totally fine. Not every book I have to enjoy. I wish I did. I wish I did. Okay, so we can color this in. And for December, let me see, I need to read 12A. Read a book with a tree on the cover. And I have read so many books with trees on the cover during the year. And there was nothing I really wanted to read for December that had tree on the cover. But I found a book and I already started reading it. So I'm sure I will finish this full path. And I'm so excited about that. But I will color in after I finish the book because I am not finished yet. Okay, so that was for the Adventures in Aeldia, and now let's see this. As I said, only yesterday I have watched the Lightfall announcement video. I never took part in the Lightfall events, so I was not really sure what to expect. Turns out it is a week-long readathon. This year it is happening between December 15 and 21st. And yes, this is a screenshot from the video. I want to incorporate that somehow on this spread. Then I went ahead and printed the map of this town. This is where every single year this Lightfall is happening, I think. I also printed a blank version. I basically opened this in Canva and used their erase to erase this. And you can see there was a lot of dark in the middle. It never does the best job, but it is enough for what I need to have. So I am quite happy with that. And I was thinking I could have the map in here and this blank page in here. That might look nice, but first I need to cut these white parts off. Also, this is a map from 2023, I think, and there were all the reading prompts under each of these signs. And I again used Canva to erase them, and that worked out so much better. I am really happy about that because I could not find this map, so I worked with what I had. Let's start with the map, and because this notebook is not full A4 size, I always have to deal with this being too large. So what I figured I could do is to simply cut this off. Then I will put this page in. And now I can simply put this in. It is not the best solution, but I need to work with what I have. Also, yes, this tends to happen, so I think I will put this in a little crooked, maybe. I did not do that on the last page, but I like this teared off edge, and I will do that on this page as well. So hopefully it will kind of cover this not being perfectly straight. Oh, okay, this is so not perfect. I have never had such a big trouble with this. I guess it's because I am trying to show you how perfect solution I have, and then it does not work out. But okay, this looks fine. Now let's add in this. Okay, I am sure you can't even see what's wrong from afar. From up close it is pretty noticeable, but it's fine, it's not that bad. For this I'm going to cut off a bit more. I don't have to worry about this not being covered on this page, so I could cut off a bigger piece, and that will make it so much easier. Okay, so this will work out so much better. Now let's tear this page. And this one. Here I have my Aeldia news, and we actually have one more news page to add in here today, because just before I was going to work on this journal, the new article by Subito22 popped up. It has to do with the Lightfall event, and I got so excited because I love their news articles. They are so funny and so to the point. So that's why I decided to have them in my journal as well. Now I'd like to color the edges a bit. It does not look that good on this page, but it looks so much better on all of these brown pages. Okay, maybe I could tear a bigger chunk here. This is the old favor passport, where we are collecting stamps, I think, and when you finish a reading prompt for all of these buildings, you get 100 points. If I understand that correctly, you don't have to finish everything 1 year. You can work on this for multiple years, which is really good. So that was one of the reasons I decided to join this year. Even when I don't plan on reading that much, it is still very manageable. And I have printed these little icons. They are for all of these little shops, and I could not find these pictures separately, so I took the white map. There is a white version of this, and I cut out all of these and printed them very, very small, so they would fit in all of these little circles. And I also made one for this year's new shop, the Dovantias flower arrangements, and I simply took this from this paper. This is their menu, I guess. And I took this and erased everything around this, so I could have a little icon, and when I will read a prompt for any of these, I will just put it in there. So that's the plan. This is okay. First, there is a bingo this year, and these 8 are reading prompts, and as you can see, all of these have a little icon in here, and that's for all of these shops. So when I will read a book that fulfills any of these prompts, this time we can read one book for as many prompts as we wish. I then can add a stamp to this passport, and I believe G said that when we finish a row or a column that we get to choose one of these. I will definitely have to watch that video again. But I was so excited, I really wanted to make a spread for it in my Orilium journal now. So this is the bingo, and I am going to cut out only the bingo part of this. I also printed the banner that was in here. I printed it bigger so I can make some kind of pocket out of it. It does not really work with the mood that is in here, but I still think it is really cute. Okay, so let's do... Okay, I did not really think through this. I just knew that I wanted some way to contain all of these smaller papers. I feel like a pocket is the best way to do it, and yeah, I decided to use this bingo banner for that. I'm just going to use this glue to put it on the page. This is the strongest glue I have, so it should work very well for the pocket. Maybe here I will put these little icons in here. The old favorite passport, this menu, it is adorable, so let's have it in here, and then this reading bingo or reading and activities bingo because only reading prompts are in here. This is all activities, so it is way easier for all of us to finish the bingo. I will tuck it in here, and I guess that's it. Oh, I have this. I can put it, I think, here. Yeah, just to fill this section a bit. And I feel like that's it. I am very excited about the Lightfall event. As I said, I have never participated, but I do hope I will be able to finish at least one book, so I can mark at least something on this bingo. And yeah, we can now add the latest Aeldia news in here. Okay, it fits perfectly. And with that, all of the updates I want to make in my journals are now done. And we are at the end of this video as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know journal vlogs were not very present on my channel lately. That's because it's the season of setting up all journals for the next year. So I spent a lot of time on that, but I'm sure there will be a lot of journal vlogs on my channel in 2026. So again, I hope you had a great time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.